Hi, my name is Boris, and in this video I'm going to show you 5 awesome techniques for writing techno melodies. We'll focus on writing hypnotic, mysterious sounding harmony that fits more aggressive techno tracks. Before we get into the video, if you like what we are doing on this channel, make sure to subscribe. We've got more content about Ableton coming up. If you'd like to learn Ableton 12 with all the foundations of music production, check out our beginner to advanced Live 12 start to finish course. And if you're looking to learn writing powerful patterns a bit more in depth, make sure to see the music theory for melodic house and techno course, which gives you all the knowledge you need for writing professional sounding tracks. And to see all of that, check the video description. Alright, so let's get started. Alright, so let's give our first example a quick listen. This is a techno project called Timed, and we have an arp that is playing over here. Let's play it. Alright, so there's quite a lot going on. The track would still work without the melody, because we've got this really nice bass line, but with the main arpeggio, it just adds a lot more tension. So let's quickly go over what techniques were used here to make this main arpeggio sound hypnotic. Let's first solo it. Right, so you can see that we are actually playing chords, and these are arpeggiated with this MIDI effect. So let's first of all disable our MIDI effects, and it sounds like this. So these are just chords. Yeah, so we are kind of turning our chords into a melody, but we are not using a synced rate, because we could be doing this. And instead we are choosing a manual rate, which basically gives us a bit more swing, sort of. It's not perfectly on the grid, and the notes are a bit delayed towards the end of the arp, and it resets every bar or every half of a bar, and that way we are getting a bit more variation also rhythmically. So let's give this a listen now. And let's maybe just listen to this with the kick drum. So kick drum and arpeggio. Okay, so we can hear the rhythm varies a little bit. And the melody actually is quite simple. We are just playing a single chord pretty much. So if we go into the D minor scale and we fold to the scale, you can see that we are playing the root note, the fifth, and the fourth. And on top of this, we are also doubling the root an octave above. And here we are just playing 3 notes, and this also gives it a little bit more rhythmic alteration. So. Alright, so we've got this. It's a very simple serum patch. I'm not going to be going in depth into the sound design. The same patch could be done in wavetable and analog. The synth choice itself isn't crucial here, but we are also using a microtuner, which is a great device for techno. Let's give this a listen now. And maybe let me exaggerate this microtuner. I have this A-B sort of dry-wet, you could say, knob. On the A tab, we have the typical 12 pitches, and on the B tab, we have generated a sort of random microtuned 12-pitch scale. We are just blending between these two, and the further we go into B, the more detuned it's going to be. Yeah, so we are just using this MPE mode, and on Serum, if you have any other plugin, you need to enable MPE mode, and also inside the plugin, MPE needs to be enabled. But with things like wavetable or analog or operator, this should work instantly without having to enable this. So in MPE mode, just making sure the pitch bend is set to 48. And we can freely just make it more detuned. And doing this is quite simple. By default, you get this. you need to switch to the generator, and here just go to 0 of randomization, go to generate. On the B tab, you can increase the randomization and you can generate some other scale. So as you can hear, it now completely goes out of tune, but it can sound very mysterious and just fresh. But then we can do a combination of A and B. So we can just turn on blend and blend between these two. So just achieve a sweet spot, sort of. Not to go too out of pitch, but just give our notes a little bit of interesting variation. Right, and this would be the first technique. Let's play it once again. Alright, so let's take a look at the second example. We have a project file, a fragment called Desert. Let's give it a listen. So here we have quite an important lead. It's this track right here. And if we play this with the kick drum, you're gonna hear that it doesn't really start, or it doesn't really reset at any particular point. And in this way, it makes it sound much more hypnotic. So let's play it once again, just with the kick. Alright, so let's go into the clip itself. In fact, we could just loop this area. So if we just cut into this section and go to crop clip to time selection, we can also loop this area and just extend it over. And you can see that the pattern here, it lasts here 1 bar and here 3/4 of a bar. So it repeats before the second bar. Here's the second repeat. The third repeat is offset by 1/2 of a bar. Third repeat is offset by 3/4 of a bar. And then it repeats on 1 right here. So here are our bars. You can see that here's 1/2 of a bar and our pattern just lasts for this long. So it takes a few repeats before it can actually start on 1. It actually keeps on repeating, and if we duplicate this fragment, you can see that it only repeats on 1 right here. So it needs quite a few repeats before it can actually land on 1, and that's what makes it so special. So these are called polymeters, and these are really easy to make. You just make an arp or a melody that doesn't last a bar or 1/2 a bar, but it ends quicker, and you just loop that section and it's going to sound way more hypnotic. And especially with automating this frequency knob, we get a lot of tension added to this track. Right, let's take a look at the third example for today, and we have a project called Valero. Let's listen. So you can hear two leads here. One is sort of in the background, we have an arp going on, and then also we have a sort of 303 synth playing as well. So we've got this, and then this, and this is played along with this. And in the background, we've got this arpeggio, which we're going to be focusing on. So we are in D minor once again. Let's fold to our scale. I just wanted to disable these two tracks and show you a cool trick that can be done by just choosing an alternative scale. Two other alternatives to the minor scale are definitely the harmonic minor and the Phrygian scale. Both of these sound very mysterious. So let me show you the D harmonic minor, and let's fold to our scale. So you can notice the difference right here. You can see that here we have the C sharp note, and before we had the C note. So we are raising the 7th step of our scale. And if we actually make use of this step, so the C sharp, we can make our track sound very mysterious. So this would be an example. And comparing this to regular minor, so this is one option. What I like even more, I think, is the Phrygian scale. So here we have Phrygian dominant. So here would be our D minor scale. And let's just switch to Phrygian, and you can see that the 2nd step is lowered by a semitone. And this is really, really nice for techno. So let's do this once again. Just selecting Phrygian, and let's write a melody here. And this could work even with our acid bassline. So make sure to experiment, especially with the Phrygian scale. Okay, so taking a look at another project file, here we have a fragment from a project called 303. Let's just give it a listen. Alright, so we've got this really nice 303 bass pattern. So these kind of patterns can be sequenced in many ways, and it's really easy and really fun. So let me show you how it's done. This track, by the way, we're also doing in D minor. So let's just switch to D minor and folding to our scale. And a great tool in Ableton 12 is the seed, which we can, for example, narrow down from D3 to D4, and we can just narrow the density to 1 so that it's monophonic. And now it's going to be very random. Let's also make sure we're just playing 16th notes and maybe decrease the density. Let's go down here. Let's go to D2 and D3. All right, I think somewhere towards the end it sounded usable. Let me open up the filter a bit more. Let me just disable echo here, or delay on this track. Let's just crop this area and maybe choose a different starting point. And we can choose a different velocity here. And this would be our pattern. So if I consolidate this and loop our selection, we can also choose transform, go to the first tab and just click legato. And then we can also add some slides. So we have glide enabled on our synth, and just like that we have a nice pattern. And we could take this one and kind of just substitute it over here. Yeah, and just generating 303 type melodies is really fun. Another technique we could do is to use the rhythm section and just choose D, maybe D1. And we can also take some of these and just offset like this, just putting these an octave above. And we already have a bit of a pattern. We can duplicate this and maybe add a bit of a random style melody. Let's make sure we are in the D minor scale and just enabling that here, scale. Maybe we can even use the Phrygian scale. And just like that, we've generated another one. So 303s are incredibly effective and a lot of fun. Okay, so let's take a look at the last example for today. We have a fragment of a project file called Red Angel. This one is a really nice vocal pad, which is using sort of a trance gate. Okay, so without the trance gate, it would sound like this. It's a very simple vocal pad made from a sample, but we are actually manually adjusting the on and off here with utility. It's pretty simple to do. You can just copy and paste a fragment if you want, and then maybe do a variation over here. Maybe you can do this. But another way of doing this would be to use, for example, the autopan, and this is like an automatic trance gate in Ableton. By default, it just, when you increase amount, it just swirls from left to right, which is also nice, but it's not what we are looking for. If we take the phase all the way down, if we select the saw wave shape, and we go to 100%, and we increase the rate maybe like this, 16th notes. Maybe let's change the offset to avoid a click. And in this section, we can disable the autopan. So here we want to have it on, and in this section, we can have it off. So we can duplicate this section. And if we kind of increase the sidechain, this is an alternative way of doing it. Sounds a bit different. We could also try doing it with the shaper for a bit more control. So we can take the shaper device and link it to utilities gain. So going into the remote mode, map to gain, and now we need to choose 50% as the maximum value, and maybe let's just do a sidechain style curve. Let's choose 16th notes. Let's disable grid snapping. And we can also automate the rate knob. So if in this case we want to have it playing quarter notes, we can do that and just copy this over like this. Let's give it a try. And maybe here we can duplicate this. So this would be my favorite way of doing this, but each technique has its pros and cons. You have the most control and manually automating the gain. With autopan, it's quite fast to set up, but with shaper, I think you've got a lot of control and it's still really easy to do. All right, I hope you'll find this video useful. Make sure to check out our Music Production Academy with start to finish courses on writing tracks in various genres. And if you'd like to learn Ableton 12 with all the foundations of music production, check out the Beginner to Advanced Live 12 Start to Finish course. And if you're looking to learn writing melody patterns a bit more in depth, make sure to see the Music Theory for Melodic House and Techno course, which gives you all the knowledge you need to write professional sounding tracks. To see all of that, check the video description. Make sure to subscribe to our channel. If you enjoyed this video, leave it a like, write us a comment, and I will see you in the next ones.